Hello, kamusta kayo guys? What is up? Emon from Peso Smart PH here. Welcome sa panibagong episode. Shoutout din sa mga podcast listeners natin. I appreciate you all. Today, didiscuss natin is kung kumikita ba talaga yung mga PSEi companies. So, part 1 to nitong video series na gagawin ko. So, bali 3 parts itong video series na to kasi merong 30 companies na nakalist sa PSEi, and para hindi ganun kahaba yung video and yung episode na to, gagawin natin 3 parts. So hati-hati siya sa 10 companies for each video. So ayan, yung unang company na sa PSEi is si Ayala Corporation. AC yung company code niya. So, dito, pangitang-pangita naman, grabe. Every year kumikita siya. Around 22 billion noong 2015. Then, last year, nag-grow. Naging 35 billion. And, pagka makita nyo yung net income niya, excluding non-recurring items, grabe yung na-boost. Grabe yung paglaki niya noong 2019 compared to the previous years. So, almost na triple yung net income na yun, na hindi kasama yung non-recurring items. However, medyo close na din yung net income, but every year nag-grow siya, and that is a very good sign. And syempre ngayon may pandemic nga, tingnan naman natin kung ano yung performance niya currently. So ito ay para sa second quarter ng 2020. So in 1,000 pesos to. So basically multiply mo lang to sa 1,000. So, yung net income niya attributable to parent is nasa 1.2 billion pesos. So, okay pa rin naman kumikita siya. Pero kung ikukumpara nyo, diba? Ito, for the whole year na to, yung net income na to, 35 billion. Ito, kung ita times 4 nyo, yung 1.2 billion, diba? It's not even close to that number. But, I think it's still a good sign na hindi sila nag-incur ng losses for this year. And at least kumikita pa rin sila kahit papano, kahit na yung business activities talaga is hindi ganun kataas, and we're not even close to being back to normal. And ito naman yung current price ni Ayala Corporation, nasa 717.50 at the time of this recording. Yun, nasa negative 1.98 yung binaba niya today. The next one naman is si AEV, Aboitiz Equity Ventures Incorporated. So, same lang din. From 2015 to 2019, every year kumikita itong company. Ito hindi masyado nag-grow, steady gold tab lang siya. So, every year, almost 22 billion yung average in the last 5 years. So, check naman natin kung ano yung performance niya for this year. Ayan, nasa 2 billion pesos yung net income nila na attributable to parent. So that's pretty big pa rin. However, kapag times 4 mo yan, kasi 4 quarters in a year, nasa 8 billion lang yung projection, diba? And it's, more than half yung nabawas sa net income nila for this year. But again, on the bright side, okay pa rin kasi kumikita pa rin sila, even though meron tayong pandemic. Then, check naman natin yung current price. The AEV, nasa 48.20. Currently, nasa 1.63 yung down niya at the time of this video's recording. And, yun. Mag-move on tayo sa next one. Si AGI Alliance Global Group Incorporated. Ito ay company ni Andrew Tan. So, siya yung person behind Emperador and yung mga McDonald's Philippines and all that. Okay. So, same lang din. Every year kumikita sila. Makakita ka ng kumbaga parang konting growth for each year. Pero hindi siya ganun kalaki. However, it's good pa rin. Kumikita sila, and yun nga, merong konting growth kahit papaano. And di ba, kung isipin mo yung jump from 15 to 17 billion, it's not, hindi mo siya pwedeng like maliitin, di ba? Ang laking pera And ang laking bagay ng 2 billion pesos. So this year, swak pa rin. Yung net income nila attributable to parent is nasa 837 million pesos pa rin. So hindi nga rin same lang sa previous companies. It's nowhere close dun sa kinita nila last year. But still, yung positive dito is, kumikita pa rin sila. Then yung current market price niya nasa 6.05. So medyo mura lang yung stock nitong si AGI. Okay, next one is si Ayala Land Incorporated. Medyo napag-uusapan palagi itong Ayala Land kasi nga sila yung nag-release nung unang nung REIT. So yung ARIT nila. Ayan. So last year, malaki din yung kinita nila, 33 billion pesos. The previous years, around 20-ish. Then 2015 yung pinakababa. So kita naman dito na steady yung growth nung kita nitong si Ayala Land. However, this year in thousands to So yung net income, malapit na silang magka-loss. Kung makikita nyo dito. I think, prediction ko lang. I think third quarter, medyo mag-incur na sila ng losses. Since kita nyo naman, 196 million pesos na lang yung kinita nila for the second quarter of 2020. But still, medyo hindi siya good sign, of course, for the company. But I would still take this number instead of a negative one. So there's that. However, yun, medyo nanganganib na nga siya. Current market price ni Ali is 30 pesos per share. So, medyo naging magkapresyo na sila ni Arit, no? Kasi 27 pesos nag-IPO si Arit and ngayon parang nasa 25-20-ish pesos range yung REIT na yan. So, ayun, pili na lang kayo kung alin ba yung mas trip nyo and kung alin yung mas mataas yung binibigay na dividends every year. Okay, moving on to the next one, si Aboitiz Power Corporation. AP yung stock code niya. Also, if interested kayo sa in-depth na review nitong company and nitong stock ni AP, click nyo lang yung link dito sa taas. Alright. So, ito, yung kinita ni AP in the past 5 years. So, medyo nagpa-fluctuate siya. Last year, parang bumalik siya sa current number nila 5 years ago, which is kind of weird. Pero from 2016 to 2018 naman, steady siya, nasa 20-ish billion pesos every year yung kinikita nila. And then, yun nga, nag-drop to 17 ulit last year. And, of course, this year, medyo magda-drop ulit yung kikitain nila. However, hindi naman kasi gaano apektado yung demand, diba, ng power supply. Since we're almost all of us are still using, syempre, yung kuryente, and nagbabayad pa rin tayo. But of course, may mga ilang parts ng company nila na hindi makapag-operate fully 100% because of this COVID thing. So, ayun, yung current income nila for the second quarter nasa 1.6 billion. And pagka compare mo sa previous year niya, di ba? 5 billion na agad yung nakinita nila nung second quarter ng 2019. So, it's a far cry from if you compare it to the current number. But still, on the positive note, pagka tinignan mo yung bright side, 1.6 billion pa rin nakita. Hindi na masama, di ba? And then, yung current price niya nasa 26 pesos per share. Diyan lang naglalaro. Mas range na yan yung price ni AP. Like, I think nireview ko itong stock na to a month ago or more than a month ago. And parang ganyan pa rin yung price niya. So, hindi siya masyado nagbabago. Also, maganda siya magbigay ng mga dividends. So, medyo mataas yung yield and medyo mataas din yung payout ratio. So, yeah. Check out nyo tong stock na to. Okay, next one naman is si BDO. I think we are all very familiar with this company. BDO Unibank Incorporated. So, ayan. Sobrang nakakalula yung kita nila in the past 5 years. So, grabing growth. From 24 billion to 26 to 28 to 32 to 44 billion pesos. Grabe, sobrang booming yung business ni BDO. However, kapag tinignan natin yung current number, ayan, medyo olat sila. since I think syempre yung mga kumbaga pinautang nila na in-expect nila magbabayad like this year, like for example like this year yung due date or whatever, yung due period ng mga pinautang nila, and syempre hindi kayang bayaran ng mga business na yun, ng mga taong yun, since yun nga mayroong pandemic. So yung mga business activities nga is na minimize or like na halt, and yeah, maraming nagsara, maraming na bankrupt. Yeah, it's sad, but syempre apektado ito si BDO since malaki silang creditor. So yun, in Philippine peso to millions, so nasa negative 4.4 billion pesos yung losses nila for the second quarter of 2020. Kumusta naman yung stock prices nila? Nasa 86.95. So yeah, currently nasa minus 0.63% lang as of yesterday. So ayan, medyo olat si BDO currently. Okay, we are moving on to the next one, si Bloom or Bloomberry Resorts Corporation. So ayan, medyo nakaka-recover na siya actually. So noong 2015, net loss pa rin sila ng 3.36 billion pesos. And then, since 2016 to 2019, consistent na yung growth nung kita nila. However, yan, nadagdagan na naman yung pitfall nila or like parang challenge or like roadblock. So, yun. Nagkaroon nga ng COVID. So, currently, on the second quarter of 2020, yung net losses nila is medyo similar dun sa losses ni BDO. Nasa 4.6 billion pesos. So, medyo malaki yan. And kung titingnan nyo nga nung previous year, second quarter ng 2019, 2.4 billion na agad yung kinita nila. And yeah, syempre, normal yung circumstances at that time. So, that's why nakuha nila itong number na to. So, yun, medyo palugi itong company na to currently. And yung current price niya nasa 6.19 pesos per share. Medyo up pa siya at this time. So, there's that. But yeah, we have to be very careful sa mga bibil nating stocks at this time. And talagang yung mga pagbebetan natin na companies is dapat like malakas pa rin sila kahit na merong ganitong crisis, di ba? And yung next one is si BPI naman, Bank of the Philippine Islands. So yan yung favorite bangko. Yan lang actually bangko eh. And sila yung ginagamit ko yung BPI Trade na stockbroker. So consistent din naman, every year lumalaki ng pakonti-konti yung kita nila since 2015 to 2019. And yung last year na number nasa 28.8 billion pesos yung kinita nila. Net income na yun. This year, sakto lang, on the second quarter of 2020, as of June 30, yung net income nila is nasa 5.2 billion pesos. So, okay naman, di ba? Comparing it to the other bank na si BDO, ayun, medyo lugi sila. But si BPI, okay pa rin. Okay yung numbers sila. And hindi siya masyadong nalalayo sa performance last year. So, 2 billion lang kumbaga yung difference. So, that's not that bad. Yung current price sila is nasa 63 pesos per share. Okay. I think steady lang din naman tong prices ni BPI. Hindi siya masyadong nagpa-fluctuate compared to like other stocks. Alright, ito, isa pa sa mga favorite kong stocks, si DMC or si DMCI Holdings Incorporated. So, every year din yan kumikita. Hindi consistent yung growth kasi nag-halt yung pag-increase ng income nila last year. But still, every year consistent silang nagbibigay ng dividend since consistent yung kita nila. However, same ba yung case this year kahit na may pandemic? Yes, pero hindi kasing laki ng mga kinikita nila in the past 5 years. So, 1.4 billion pesos yung kinita nila on the second quarter of 2020 comparing to the performance last year, 3.7 billion yun. But it's not really that bad. Kumikita pa rin sila. And yeah, nagsistrive sila given the situation. So I think essentially that's good for a company, and yeah, sulit yung stock nila kasi medyo mababa yung stock prices nila ngayon, and I think it's a good buy and it's a steal, lalo na kapag bumalik na sa, quote-unquote normal yung mundo, syempre kasama yung Philippines. And syempre sana hindi naman tayo maiwan, di ba? Okay, so ito yung current market price ni DMC, 3.93 pesos per share lang siya. Actually, nag-dip yan until like 3.1. So, if nakabili kayo at that price point, medyo kumita na agad kayo. If magbenta kayo at this point in time, but I would highly suggest not to sell. Kasi, yeah, tataas pa yan for sure. And ito naman, yung pinakabagong member ng PSEi. Kasi natanggal na si SEC, si Semirara Mining and Power Corporation. It's not really that big of a deal, but yeah, SEC is out, EMP is in. So ito, yung kinikita niya every year, yan. Pangitang-pangitang, mga lasenggong Pinoy. Well, hindi lang naman kasi Filipinos yung customers or clients itong si Emperador. Nagdi-distribute din sila ng liquor like around the world. So yun, yung net income nila, steady lang palagi, 6.something billion every year. Nagkaroon lang ng growth noong 2016, nasa 7.69 billion yung kinita nila. Also, nireview ko na tong company na to, itong stock na to. So yeah, click nyo lang itong link sa taas para makita nyo yun. So currently, kumikita pa rin ba sila? The answer is yes. Eto. So, second quarter of 2020, 1.8 billion pesos yung kinita ni Emperador, which is a very good sign. Sobrang strong na tong stock na to ngayon. Kasi kung ikukumpara nyo yung kinita nila this year to last year, lumaki pa, di ba, ng 300 million. Kasi 1.5 billion lang kinita nila on the second quarter of 2019, which is a very good sign, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, Pinoy lasenggo. Hindi, joke lang. Okay. So, eto, nasa 10 pesos per share na si Emperador. I think ito na yung pinaka biggest, like, yeah, this is the biggest winner sa portfolio ko. Nalimutan ko lang ilagay dito kung ilan yung like growth or like ilang percent yung gain ko for this stock, but it's pretty big kasi medyo mura ko siya nabili before. I think 2018 ko pa siya or early 2019 ko pa nabili itong Emperador stocks ko, and yeah, sobrang tumaas lang siya currently. Alright, so we are heading towards the end of this episode. Recap lang tayo sa mga diniscuss natin earlier. So ayan, ito yung list. So bali, out of the 10 companies na na-list dito, yung first 10 companies na naka-list sa PSEi, dalawa sa kanila yung hindi kumikita currently on this year 2020. So yun yung BDO and Bloom. So it's really sad, but that's just the reality of it. On the positive side, meron tayong 8 companies dito na still kumikita pa rin kahit na merong COVID and merong pandemic. Yan, so sisilipin naman natin yung mga sources for today's episode. Andyan yung PSE Edge, BPI Trade, and a photo from Unsplash. Lahat ng links matatagpuan sa description sa baba. Right. And ito, kung hindi ka nanonood ng Lucifer, I highly suggest na panoorin nyo. Sobrang entertaining and yeah, maganda yung storyline. And sobrang interesting yung mga characters. So yeah, check it out sa Netflix. So before we end, we have a quote galing kay Warren Buffett. Sabi niya dito, if you're smart, you're going to make a lot of money without borrowing. So ayun guys, i-end na natin yung episode here. Sana may natutunan kayo. If you happen to make it at the end of this video, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Don't forget to leave this video a thumbs up and share nyo na rin if natripan nyo yung content ko. That will surely help sa algorithm ni YouTube. Also, twice a week ako nag-upload ng mga videos katulad nito. So, subscribe ka na and ring the notification bell para wala kang ma-miss out. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Stay safe and always remember, be Peso smart. Show me.